I know something's wrong.
There's nothing wrong. When you finish, we'll go buy you something nice. What would you like?
We'll go somewhere nice to eat, okay? Did you see that guy in their spots?
You don't have those, do you?
No.
Then you don't have anything to worry about.
Yeah, she said they can be inside you.
They're not inside.
Yeah, they're inside
you. Will you stop? But why are you so convinced to say?
Quick, Bruce! It's supposed to be here. I'm so lucky to have such a wonderful lover. I love Bruce so much, Nikki. I know something's wrong.
Craig, all you've come for is for some test results. Now stop being such a hypochondriac.
I'm tired all the time. Wake up in swimming pools of sweat. Last time she felt me, said I was swollen, all swollen like something ready to explode. Thank you for coming with me. You're a good friend. Excuse me for being such a mess, Ned. I get freaked out when I don't feel well.
Everybody does.
Whoever's next can go in.
Good luck.
Good luck.
They keep getting bigger and bigger, and they don't go away. I sold you a ceramic pig once. At Maison France, on Bleecker Street. My name's David.
Oh, yes, I remember. Someone I was friends with then collects pigs. And you were the biggest pig I'd ever seen outside of a real pig.
Number 28 case, and 16 of them are dead.
Mickey, what the fuck is going on?
I don't know. Are you here to write about this?
I don't know. Even if I am, what's wrong with that?
Nothing. I guess. Just keep my name out of it this time.
What about you? What are you going to say? You're the one with the health college.
Well, I'll certainly write about it in the native. But I'm afraid to put it in the stuff I write at work.
What are you afraid of?
The city doesn't exactly show a burning interest in gay health. But at least I've still got my job. The health department has had a lot of cutbacks.
How's John?
John? John and who?
You've had so many, I can never remember their last names.
Oh, you mean John. I'm with Gregory now. Gregory O'Connor?
The old gay activist?
Oh, he's younger than you are. I've been with Gregory for 10 months now.
Oh, Mickey, that's very nice.
He's not even Jewish, but don't tell my rabbi.
I'm gonna die. That's about what she's telling me. I'm so scared. No, I have to go home. I have to pack my things, come right back here and check in. Mickey, please come with me. With Bruce. No, I want Bruce.
Who are you?
I'm Ned Weeks. I spoke with you on the phone after the Times article.
You're the writer fellow who's scared. I'm scared too. I hear you've got a big mouth.
Is big mouth a symptom?
No. A cure. Come on in and take your clothes off.
I just want to ask some questions. The article didn't say very much.
You're gay, aren't you?
Yes.
Then take off your clothes. Don't be nervous. I've seen more men than you have.
Dr. Bruckner, what is happening?
I don't know.
In just a couple of minutes, you told two people I know something. So, the article said there isn't any cure?
Not even any good clues yet. Whatever this is, it's the most insidious killer I have ever seen or studied or heard about. And I think we're seeing just the tip of the iceberg. I'm afraid it's on the rampage. I'm frightened nobody important is going to give a damn because it seems to be happening mostly to gay men. Who cares if a faggot dies? What? Does it occur to you to do something about it personally?
Me.
Somebody's got to do something.
Wouldn't it be better coming from you?
Doctors are extremely conservative. You try to stay away from anything that smells political, and this smells bad. As soon as you start screaming, they treat you like a nutcase. Well, maybe you know that. And then you're ostracized and rendered worthless just when you need cooperation most. Take off your socks.
Nobody ever listens for very long anyway. There's a new disease of the month every day.
We reported our first cases to the medical journals over a year ago. Nobody would publish anything for a year. Finally, which brought you running? The Times ran something on some inside page. Very inside, page 20. If you remember toxic shock, Legionnaire's disease, they both hit the front page of the New York Times the minute they happened, and they stayed there till somebody did something. The front page of the Times has a way of inspiring action.
They won't even use the word gay unless it's in a direct quote. To them, we're still homosexuals. That's like still calling blacks Negroes. The Times has always had trouble writing about anything gay.
Then how is anybody going to know what's happening or what precautions they have to take? Somebody is going to have to tell the gay population fast.
You've been living with this for over a year? Where's the mayor? Where's the health department?
They know about it. You have a commissioner of health who got burned in the swine flu epidemic, declaring an emergency when there wasn't one, and the government appropriated $150 million for that mistake. You have a mayor who's a bachelor, and I assume afraid of being perceived as too friendly to anyone gay, and who's also out to protect a $1 billion a year tourist industry. He's not about to tell the world there's an epidemic menacing his city. And don't ask me about the president. Is the mayor gay?
If he is, like J. Edgar Hoover, who would want him?
Is the president's son gay?
Ask the mayor.
Have you had any of the symptoms?
I have had most of the sexually transmitted diseases the article said come first. No, a lot of us have. You don't know what it's been like since the sexual revolution hit this country. It's been crazy, gay or straight.
What makes you think I don't know? Any fever? Night sweats? Diarrhea? Loss of weight? White patches in your mouth? Loss of energy? Shortness of breath? Chronic cough?
No. But those could happen with a lot of things, couldn't they?
And purple lesions sometimes, which is what I'm looking for. It's a cancer. There seems to be a strange reaction in the immune system. It's collapsed. Won't work, won't fight, which is what it's supposed to do. So some of the diseases my guys are coming down with are caused by germs that wouldn't hurt a baby. Not a baby in New York City, anyway. Unfortunately, the immune system is the one system we know least about. So, where's this big mouth I hear you've got?
I have more of a bad temper than a big mouth.
Really? Nothing wrong with that. Plenty to get angry about. Health is a political issue. If you're not getting good medical care, you've got to fight for it. One of my staff told me you were very well known in the gay world and not afraid to say what you think. Is it true? Stand up. I can't find any gay leaders. I tried calling several gay organizations. Nobody ever calls me back. Is anyone out?
There aren't any organizations strong enough to be useful. No, Dr. Bruckner. Nobody with a brain gets involved in gay politics. It's filled with the great unwashed radicals of any counterculture. That's why there aren't any leaders the majority will follow besides you. You're talking to the wrong person. What I think is politically incorrect.
Why?
Gay is good to that crowd. No matter what, there's no room for criticism. Looking at ourselves critically.
What's your main criticism?
I hate how we play victim when many of us, most of us, don't have to.
You are exactly what's needed now.
Nobody ever listens! Okay? We're not exactly a bunch that knows how to play follow the leader.
Maybe they're just waiting for somebody to lead.
Yes, we are. What group is it?
Oh, all right. Get dressed, get dressed. I can't find what I'm looking for.
Needed for what? What is it exactly that you are trying to get me to do?
Tell gay men to stop having sex.
What?
Somebody has to. Why not?
about promiscuity to be their principal political agenda. The one they'd rather die before abandoning. How do you deal with that?
Tell them they may die.
You tell them!
Are you saying you guys can't relate to each other in a non-sexual way?
It's more complicated than that. But for a lot of guys, it's not easy to meet each other in any other way. It's a way of connecting, which becomes an addiction. And then you are caught in a web of peer pressure to perform and perform and... Are you sure this is spread by having sex?
Long before we isolated the hepatitis viruses, we knew the diseases they caused. We had a pretty good idea of how they got around. I think I am right about this. I think this is a virus too. I'm seeing more cases each week than the week before. I figure that by the end of the year, the number will be doubling every 6 months. That is something over 1,000 cases by next June. Half of them will be dead. Your 2 friends I just diagnosed, one of them will be dead. Maybe both of them.
You want me to tell every gay man in New York City to stop having
You
sex?
said anything about just New York?
You want me to tell every gay man across the country to stop having sex?
Across the world. That's the only way the disease will stop spreading.
Dr. Bruckner, isn't that just a tiny bit unrealistic?
Mr. Weeks, if having sex can kill you, doesn't anybody with half a brain stop fucking? But perhaps you've never lost anything. Goodbye.
Dr. Bruckner! Dr. Bruckner, please! Be careful! Dr. Bruckner!
Here,
Please!
put it on the table. What happened here?
He was coming out of the building, and then he started running toward me, and then he just collapsed. to the
Set
ground.
up a room right now. What is going on inside your bodies? You the lover?
Yes.
What's your name?
Bruce Niles, ma'am.
How's your health?
Fine. Why? Is it contagious?
I think so.
Well, then how come you haven't come down with it?
It seems to have a very long incubation period and require close intimacy. Bruce Niles. You were Reinhard Holtz's lover.
How did you know that? I haven't seen him for a couple of years.
He died 3 weeks ago. Oh, hold his leg. Get down there. All right, I'm gonna put this in the top. Keep his chin steady for me. Gently, gently. Keep that there. All right.
We were in boyfriend for a couple of months.
It's like some sort of plague.
Well, there's always a plague of one kind or another. Mr. Weeks, I don't think your friend is going to live for very long.
I'm so sorry.
Bad time.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm looking for a Mr. Turner.
Mister,
Felix Turner.
I'm Felix Turner, yes.
My name is Ned Weeks.
You caught me at a rough moment. I have a deadline.
I've been told you're gay and might be able to help get vital information into the Times about
Who told you?
the grapevine.
Here I thought everyone saw me as the Burt Reynolds of West 43rd Street. And please, don't stop by and say hello to Mr. Salzberger or A. Rosenthal. What kind of vital
Did you
information?
read the article about this new disease?
Yes, I read it. I wondered how long before I'd hear from somebody. Why does everyone gay always think I run the New York Times? I can't help you. This.
I'm sorry to hear that. What would you suggest I do?
Well, take your pick. I've got 23 parties, 14 gallery openings, 37 new restaurants, 12 new discos, 105 spring collections. Anything sound
No
interesting?
one here wants to write another article. I've spoken to half a dozen reporters and editors, and the guy who wrote the first
Yes,
piece.
that's true, and they won't want to write about it. And I can't. We're very departmentalized. You wouldn't want science to write about sweaters, would you?
It's a very peculiar feeling having to go out and seek support in the straight world for something gay.
I wouldn't know anything about that. You know, I just write about gay designers and gay discos and gay chefs and gay rock stars and gay photographers and gay models and gay celebrities and gay everything. I just don't call them gay. Is that enough for doing my bid?
No, I don't think it's
No,
enough.
I really do have a deadline, and you wouldn't want me to get fired. Who could write about us at all?
Guys like you give me a pain in the ass.
Are you in the book?
Yes. Isn't it a bit early to get so worked up? Don't you be like that too? What have I done now? My friend Bruce and I went out to Fire Island, and over the whole Labor Day weekend, we collected a grand sum of $124.
Well, you can either read that as an indication that it's a beginning and will improve, or as a portent that heads will stay in the sand. My advice is heads will stay in the sand.
Because so many gay people are still in the closet.
Because people don't like to be frightened. When they get scared, they don't behave well. It's called denial.
What are these for?
Your account needs some more money. You never seem to do anything twice. One movie, one novel, one play. You know, you're now living on your capital. I miss you being in the movie business. I like movies.
What are those?
I've decided to build a house.
But the one you're in now is terrific.
I just want to build me a dream house, and I'm going to.
It looks like a fortress. Does it have a moat? How much is this going to cost?
I suspect it'll wind up over $1 million.
Oh my God.
But you're not to tell that to anyone, not even Sarah. I found some land in Greenwich by a little river, completely protected by trees. Ned, it's going to be beautiful.
Spending $1 million on a house frighten you? It would scare the shit out of me, even if I had it.
You can have a house anytime you want one. You haven't done badly.
Do I detect a tinge of approval? From the big brother who always called me Lemon.
Well, you were a lemon.
I don't want a house.
Then why have you been searching for one in the country for so many years?
It's no fun living in one alone.
There's certainly no law requiring you to do that. Is this, Bruce, someone you're seeing?
Why, thank you for asking. God, I wish. I see him, he just doesn't see me. Everyone's afraid of me anyway. I frighten them away. It's called the Lemon Complex.
I think you're the one who's scared.
Never said that before.
Yeah, I have. You just didn't hear me. What's the worst thing that can happen to you?
I'd spend $1 million on a house. Look, Ben, please. We have started an organization to raise money and spread information and fight any way we can.
Like who and what?
I told you, there's this strange disease.
Wait a minute, you're not going to do that full time.
I just want to help get it started. I'll worry about how much time later on.
Sounds to me like another excuse to keep from writing.
I knew you would say that. All right, I was wondering, can your law firm incorporate us and get us tax-exempt status and take us on for free? What's it called? Pro bono?
Pro bono? What? What are you going to do?
I just told you, raise money and
You
fight!
have to be more specific than that. You have to have a plan.
Well, how about if I say we're going to become a cross between the League of Women Voters and the United States Marines? Is that a good enough plan?
We have a committee that decides this sort of thing. I'll have to put it to the committee.
Why can't you just say yes?
Because we have a committee.
But you're senior partner, and I'm your brother.
I fail to see what bearing that has on the matter. You're asking me to ask my partners to give up income that would ordinarily come into their pocket.
No. I thought every law firm did a certain amount of this sort of thing, charity-worthy causes.
It's not up to me, however, to select just what these worthy causes might be.
Well, that's a pity. What did you start the firm for?
That's one of our rules. It's a democratic firm.
I think I like elitism better. When will you know?
Know what?
Whether or not your committee wants to help dying faggots.
I'll put it to them at the next meeting.
When is that?
When it is!
When is it? Because if you're not going to help, I'll have to find somebody else.
You're more than free to do that.
No, I don't want to do that. See, I want my big brother's fancy, famous, big deal straight law firm to be the first major New York law firm to do pro bono work for a gay cause. Oh, that would give me a great deal of pride. I am sorry you can't see that. I am sorry. I am still putting you in a position where you're ashamed of me now. I thought we worked this out years ago.
I am not ashamed of you. I told you I'm simply not free to take this on without asking my partner's approval the next meeting.
Yeah, why don't I believe that? When is the next meeting?
Next Monday. Can you wait until next Monday?
Who else is on the committee?
Oh, what difference does that make?
I'll lobby them. You don't seem like a very sure vote. Is Nelson on the committee? Norman Ivy, Harvey.
Norman and Harvey are.
Good.
Okay? Lemon, where do you want to have lunch today? It's your turn to pay.
It is not. I paid last week.
That's simply not true.
Yes, it is. Last week was French. You're right. You know you are the only person in the world I can't get mad at and stay mad at. Oh. I think my whole world would come to an end without you. And then who would Ben talk to?
That's true.
You're getting better at it.
library you have here. You read all these books?
Why does everybody always ask that?
You have a whole room of them. You must want to get asked.
I never thought of it that way. Maybe I did. Thank you. No. They go out of print, and then you can't find them. So I buy right away.
I think you have to face the fact that you won't be able to read them all before you die.
I think you're right.
You know, I used to really like high tech. Tired of it now. I think I want chintz back again. Don't be insulted.
I'm not. I want chintz back again, too.
So here we are. Two fellows who want chintz back again. Excuse me for saying so, but you are as stiff as starch.
Oh. It has been a long time since I have had a date. This is a date, isn't it? Yeah, and on the rare occasion, I was usually the asker.
That's what's throwing you off your style. I call it ass.
Some style. Yeah, before any second date, I usually receive a phone call that starts with, "No, I don't know what you had in mind, but can't we just be friends?"
No. Are you glad I'm here?
Oh, I am pleased as punch you're here. You are very good looking. What are you doing here?
I'm gonna let that tiny bit of self-pity pass for the
It's
moment.
not self-pity, it's
No, it's
nervousness.
definitely self-pity. Do you think you're bad looking?
Where are you from?
I'm from Oklahoma. I left home when I was 18. I put myself through college. My folks are dead. My dad worked at a refinery in West Tulsa, and my mom was a waitress at a luncheonette in Walgreens.
Isn't it amazing how a kid can come out of college and wind up on the Times, dictating taste and style and fashion to the entire world?
And we were talking so nicely.
Oh, talking is not my problem. Shutting up is my problem. And keeping my hands off of you.
You don't have to keep your hands off. You have very nice hands. So do you have any awkward sexual tendencies you want to tell me about too? That I'm not already familiar with?
What are you familiar with?
I found myself pursuing men who hurt me before minor therapy. You're not one of those.
No, I'm the runner. I was the runner. Until major therapy. After people who didn't want me and away from people who do.
Isn't it amazing how a kid can come out of all of that, analyzing everything incessantly down to the most infinitesimal neurosis, and still be all alone?
I am sorry you don't like my Dr. Freud. Another aging Jew who couldn't get laid.
Just relax. You'll get laid.
I try being laid back, assertive, funny, boyish. What's the point? I don't think there are many gay relationships that work out anyways.
It's very difficult to imagine you laid back. And I happen to know a lot of gay relationships that are working out very well.
Well, I guess I never see them.
Because you're a basket case.
Fuck off!
Don't you think you're attractive? Don't you like your body?
I don't think anybody really likes their body. I read that somewhere.
You know, my fantasy has always been to go away and live by the ocean and write 24 novels. Living with someone, just like you, with all these books, who of course will be right there beside me, writing your own 24 novels.
Me too.
Harold Robbins marries James Mitchell.
How about Tolstoy and Charles Dickens?
As long as Kafka doesn't marry Dostoevsky.
Dostoevsky's my favorite writer.
I'll have to try him again.
You really believe all that? And why do you write all that party in society and fancy ball gown bullshit?
Here we go again. I'll bet you gobble it up every day.
I did. I also know 6 people who've died. When I came to you a few weeks ago, it was only 1.
I'm sorry. Is that why you agreed to this date?
Do you realize that when Hitler's final solution to eliminate the Polish Jews was first mentioned in the Times? It was on page 28, and on page 6 of the Washington Post, and the Times and the Post were both owned by Jews. What causes silence like that? Why didn't the American Jews help the German Jews get out, their very own people? Scholars are finally writing honestly about this. I've been doing some research, and it's damning to everyone who was here then. Jewish leaders for being totally ineffective. Jewish organizations for constantly fighting amongst themselves, unable to cooperate, even in the face of death. Zionists versus non-Zionists. Rabbi Wise against Rabbi Silver.
Some sort of special way you talk when you don't want to talk. We were doing so nicely.
We were.
Wasn't there an awful lot of anti-Semitism in those days? Were the Jews afraid of rubbing people's noses in too much shit?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes. Everybody's got a million excuses for not getting involved. But are there moral obligations? Moral commandments to try everything possible. Where were the Christian churches? The Pope, Churchill. Oh, can we start it on Roosevelt? Was brought up to worship him. Well, all Jews were. A clear statement from him would have put everything on the front pages, would have put Hitler on notice. But instead, his administration did its best to stifle publicity. At the same time, they clamped down immigration laws, forbidding entry, and this famous haven for the oppressed became as inaccessible as Tibet. The title of Treasury Secretary Morgenthal's report to Roosevelt was Acquiescence of this Government in the Murder of the Jews, which he wrote in 1944. Dachau was opened in 1933, and where was everybody for 11 years? And then it was too late.
This is turning out to be a very romantic evening.
Don't tell me how much you can accomplish working from the inside. You know what? Jewish leaders relying on their contacts in high places were still quietly from the inside, attempting to persuade them when the war was over.
What do you want me to say? Do you ever take a vacation?
A vacation? Oh, that's right, I forgot. That's the great goal, isn't it? A constant Fire Island vacation. Party, party, fuck, fuck. Maybe you can give me a few trendy pointers on what to wear.
Boy, you really have a bug up your ass. Look, I'm not going to tell them I'm gay. And could I write about the few cases of this mysterious disease that seems to be standing in the way of your kissing me? Even though there must be 500,000 gay men in this city who are fine and healthy. And let us please acknowledge the law of averages. And this is not World War II. The numbers are nowhere remotely comparable. And all analogies to the Holocaust are tired, overworked, boring, probably insulting, possibly true, and a major turnoff.
Are they?
Oh, boy, if I found myself a real live weird one here. I had no idea. Hello? Hey, I just called you weird.
You're not the first.
You've never had a lover, have you?
Where'd you get that from?
Have you? Wow.
Well, I suppose you've had quite a few.
I had a very good one for a number of years, thank you. He was older than I was. He found someone younger.
Ooh, you like him older? You looking for a father?
I'm not looking for a father. God, you are relentless. And as cheery as Typhoid Mary.
The American Jews knew exactly what was happening when everything was happening. Can you imagine how amazing it would have been if every Jew in America had marched on Washington? Says I want a lover. I mean, why doesn't anybody believe me when I say I do not want a lover?
You're fucking crazy. Jews, Dachau, final solution. What kind of date is this? Look, I don't believe anyone in this whole wide world doesn't want to be loved. You don't remember me, do you, Ned? We've been in bed together. We made love. We talked. We kissed. We cuddled. We made love again. I keep waiting for you to remember something, anything, but you don't.
How could I not remember you?
I don't know.
Maybe if I saw you naked.
Oh, you are such an asshole. Yeah, it's okay if we treat each other like whores. It was in the baths. A few years ago, you were busy cruising some blonde number. I stood outside your door and waited for you to come back, and when you did, well, you gave me such an inspection up and down, you would have thought I was applying for the CIA.
And then what?
I just told you. We made love twice, and I thought it was lovely. You told me your name was Ned. That when you were a child, you read a Philip Berry play called Holly, where there was a Ned. immediately switched from Alexander. I teased you for taking such a wasp up in Connecticut for the weekend name. I asked what you did. You answered something like you tried a number of things. I asked if that had included love, which is when you told me you had to get up early in the morning. That's when I left. But I tossed you my favorite go fuck yourself when you told me I'm really not in the market for a love. You know, men don't, they do not just naturally not love. We learn not to. I am not a whore. I just sometimes make mistakes and look for love in the wrong places. And I think you're a bluffer. You know, your novel was all about a man desperate for love in a relationship, in a world filled with nothing but casual sex.
Do you think we could start over?
Maybe.
Ned, Gregory says hello. We can't believe you've turned into an activist. He says, where were you 15 years ago when we needed you?
You tell Gregory 15 years ago no self-respecting faggot would have anything to do with you guys.
I was 12 years old.
You're not an activist. If you're not an activist, Bruce, then what are you?
Nothing. I'm only in this until it goes away.
You know, the battle against the police at Stonewall was won by transvestites. We all fought like hell. You Brooks Brothers guys.
Now, that's why I wasn't at Stonewall. I don't have anything in common with those guys, girls, whatever you call them. Ned, Robert Stokes has it. He called me today.
At Glenn Fitzsimmons' party the other night, I saw one friend I knew was sick. I learned about two others. And walking home, I bumped into Richie Farrow, who told me he'd just been diagnosed.
Richie Farrell?
All this on 6th Avenue, between 19th and 8th Streets.
Richie Farrell. Gee, I haven't seen him since Stonewall. I think we even had a little affair that...
Are you a transvestite?
No, but I'll fight for your right to be one.
No. I don't want you to be one.
See, I'm worried this organization might only attract white bread and middle class. We need blacks.
Right? Oh.
How do you feel about lesbians?
Not very much. Why? I mean, there's something else.
I wonder what they're going to think about all this. You know, if past history has been any guide, there has never been much support by either half of us for the other. Tommy, are you a lesbian?
I have done and seen everything.
How are you doing?
I'm okay now. I forgot to thank you for sending flowers.
That's okay.
You know, it's funny. My mother sends flowers. We never even talked about my being gay. I told the Craig guy. Guess she knew.
I think mothers somehow always know. Would you like to have dinner sometime next week? Maybe see a movie?
You know, actually, it's funny. It happened so fast. You know Albert? I've been seeing him.
The guy in the Calvin Klein ads? Great.
And I don't think I like to be alone. I've always been with someone.
We need to choose a president tonight. Don't forget, I am not interested. And we're on board of directors.
Mickey, how did you finally decide to say it? I didn't even look.
I just said that the best medical knowledge, which admittedly isn't very much, seems to feel that a virus has landed in our community. It could have been any community, but it landed in ours. I guess we just got in the way. Boy, we can have paranoia problems.
That's all you said.
You see what I mean? No. I also put in the benefit dance announcement and the coupons for donations.
What about the recommendations?
I recommend everyone should donate $1 million. How do you make people realize this is not just a gay problem? If this happens to us, it can happen to anyone. I sent copies to all the gay newspapers.
What good will that do? Nobody reads them.
The Native is doing a good job.
I thought we talked this out on the phone. We must tell everybody what Emma wants us to tell them.
She wants to tell them so badly, then why won't you? Lieutenant is recommending you. This is what Ned wrote for me to set down. If this doesn't scare the shit out of you and rouse you to action, gay men may have no future here on Earth. Nettie, I think that's a bit much.
You'll scare everybody to death.
Shake up. What's wrong with that? This is not something that can be force-fed gently. It will not work. Mickey neglected to read my first sentence.
It's difficult to write this without sounding alarmist or scared. Okay, but then, get this. I am sick of guys knowing that giving up careless sex until this blows over is worse than death. I am sick of guys who can only think with their cocks. I am sick of closeted gays. It's 1982 now, guys. When are you gonna come out? By 1984, you can be dead!
You're crazy, Emma. There are almost 500 cases now. Okay, we're not sending it out. I'll get the Native to run it.
We can't tell people how to live their lives. We can't do that. Besides, the entire gay political platform is fucking. We get it from all sides.
You make it sound like that's all that being gay means.
That's all it does.
It's the only thing that makes us different.
I don't want to be considered different.
Neither do I, actually.
Yeah, well, I do.
Well, you are.
Why is it we can only talk about our sexuality and so relentlessly? You know what, Mickey? All we have done is create generations of guys who can't deal with each other as anything but erections. No, we can't even get a meeting with the mayor's gay assistant.
I'm very interested in setting up some sort of services for the patients. We gotta start thinking about them.
Who is he?
He heard about you and he found you, and here he is. My name is Tommy Boatwright. Why don't you write that down? Tommy Boatwright. In real life, I am a hospital administrator, and I am a southern bitch.
Welcome to gay politics. Ned, I won't have anything to do with any organization that tells people how to live their lives.
I am not telling them. It is a recommendation.
A shotgun to that.
It's interfering with their civil rights.
Fucking is a civil right, don't we just wish?
What if we put it in the form of a recommendation from gay doctors, or we're just a conduit?
Yeah, I can't get any doctors to go on record and say publicly what it is that Emma wants.
If the fortunes they made up are being sick, you think they could have warned us? What the fuck is this?
Uh-oh.
Look at this. Was this your idea?
I'm looking, I'm not seeing. What don't I see?
What we put for our return address?
Oh, you mean the word gay is on the envelope?
Yeah, you're damn right. Instead of just the initials, like who did it?
Well, maybe it was Pierre who designed it. Or maybe it was a mistake of the printers, but it is the name we chose for this organization.
No, you chose. I didn't want the word gay.
No, we all voted. That was one of those meetings when somebody actually showed up.
Bruce, you know what? I think it's interesting that nobody has actually noticed until now. You've been stuffing them in your apartment all week.
Can't send them out.
Well, we have to. If we want anybody to come to the dance, they were late from the printers as it is.
We can go through and scratch out the words with a magic marker.
10,000 times. Look, Bruce, I feel sympathy for young guys still living at home on Long Island with their parents. But most of the men getting these are... Look at you! Oh, my God. In your case, what difference does it make? You live alone. You own your own apartment. Your mother lives in another state.
What about my mailman?
You don't expect me to take that seriously, do you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what about your doorman?
Well, what about?
Why don't you worry about him? Oh, those cute little Calvin Klein numbers you parade under his nose. Think you're playing poker with the boys?
You don't have any respect for anyone who doesn't think like you.
Bruce, I don't agree with you about this. I think it's imperative that we all grow up now and come out of the closet.
Ladies, behave.
Nettie, you don't think much of our sexual revolution. You say so all the time.
No, I say I don't think much of promiscuity. And what does that got to do with gay on
But you have certainly done your share.
That doesn't mean I approve of it or that I even like myself for doing
But
it.
not all of us feel that way, and we don't like to hear the word promiscuous use pejoratively.
Or subtitles.
Oh, where the world can hear it,
Oh,
Bruce.
but sex is liberating! It is always guys like you who never had one who are always screaming about relationships and monogamy and fidelity and holy matrimony. What are you, a closet straight?
More sex isn't more liberating, and having so much sex makes finding love impossible.
Nettie, darling, do not put your failure to find somebody on the morality of all the rest of us.
Mickey, drooling, I'm only saying what I think. It has taken me 20 years of assorted forms of therapy in various major world capitals to be able to do so. Without him here giving a fuck if anybody likes it or not.
I'll buy that.
Thank you.
Yeah, but not everyone is so free to say what they think.
Yes, we're able to afford so much therapy, although God knows I need it. All right, look, it's late. We still haven't elected our president. Ned, I think it should be Bruce. I mean, everybody knows him and everybody likes him. I mean, everybody expects you
Yeah,
to be
he's
him.
popular and everybody's afraid of me.
Yes.
No.
No.
No, what it means is you have a certain kind of energy that's definitely needed. Bruce has a presence that might bring people together in a way you can't.
What does that mean?
It means he's gorgeous. And other kids on Christmas tree in Fire Island feel a bit more comfortable following him.
Just like high school.
Yes!
Follow him where?
Well, why don't we have a little dinner and I'll tell you all about it. And more.
Thanks. I'm busy.
Forever? Well, that's too bad. I want to try my hand at smoothing out your rough edges.
Good luck!
Well, it looks like you're the president.
I don't think I want this.
Oh, come on, you're gorgeous, and we're all gonna follow you.
Fuck you. I accept.
Well, fuck you. Congratulations.
There are going to be a lot of scared people out there needing someplace to call for information. I'm very interested in setting up some sort of telephone hotline.
Sure. Just prepare a detailed budget and let me see it before you make any commitments.
Ooh, don't you feel in safe hands already?
What is it you do for a living, man?
I'm a vice president of Citibank.
Well, that's nothing to be shy about, sugar. You invented the cash machine. Are we sending these things out or what?
What do you think?
I'll bet nobody even notices.
No, there'll be some who notice. Okay.
Okay. Our first adult compromise. Thank y'all for your cooperation.
Oh, hey, everybody, this is Felix. Felix, Mickey, Bruce, Tommy. Bruce just got elected president.
My condolences. Would anyone like Balducci's gourmet ice cream? 25 bucks a pint. Let me interrupt.
Nettie's found a boyfriend.
Now maybe you'll leave me alone.
Shit, he's got his own key. Looks like I signed on too late.
Look, I worry about that. I mean, I like him a lot and everything, but his style is so confrontational. We could get into a lot of trouble with him.
Honey, he looks like a pretty good catch to me. You get into a lot of trouble without him.
I'm going home. My Gregory, he burns dinner every night, and when I'm late, he blames me.
My boss doesn't know, and he hates gays. Well, yeah, he keeps telling me fag jokes, and I keep laughing at him.
Yeah. Citibank won't fire you for being gay. And if they did, we can make such a stink that every gay customer in New York would leave them. Come on, Bruce. You used to be a fucking Green Beret.
Goodness!
I love my job. think we have to stay out of anything political.
And I think it's going to be impossible to pass along any information or recommendation at all that isn't considered political by somebody.
And I don't think this is an argument you two boys are going to settle tonight. I just want you to know, I really admire your writing and your passion and what you've been doing and saying, and it is because of you that I'm here. Take care this good man doesn't burn out. Good night.
We just elected a president who's in the closet. I am the only screamer among them, and I lost every argument.
Ned, I think you should have been president.
I didn't really want it. I've never been any good at playing on a team. I like stirring things up on my own. Bruce will make a good president. I'll shake him up. Felix, let's go somewhere far away. Just the two of us on a desert island with the dog.
Don't you dare stop for 1 second what you're doing. Ned, I appreciate you not yelling at me for not being more political. Why don't you?
It's a relief to not have to talk politics with somebody. That's not the reason.
No?
Because you are too good to be true. Because I've wanted a lover like you my whole life, and you haven't shown up until now, and well, I am terrified I'll do something to fuck it up. You think I'm crazy?
I certainly do. That's why I'm here.
I am so glad
That I'm here?
that you think I'm crazy.
You got your free legal work from my firm. I'm not going to be on your board of directors, too.
I got our free legal work from your firm by going to Norman, and he said, of course, no problem. I asked him, don't you have to put it before your committee? And he said, nah, I'll just tell them we're going to do it.
Well, you got it.
All I'm asking for is the use of your name. You don't have to do a thing. This is an honorary board for the stationery.
Ed, come on. It's your cause, not mine.
This is just an invasion.
It is not. I don't ask you to help me with the lunch month school board, do I?
But I would if you asked me.
But I don't.
Would you be more interested if you thought this was a straight disease?
Oh, it has nothing to do with it being gay.
Oh, of course it has. What else has it got to do with Ben?
I've got other things to do.
But I'm telling you, you don't have to do a thing!
The answer is no.
It is impossible to get this epidemic taken seriously! I wrote a letter to the gay newspaper, and some guy wrote in saying, there goes Ned Weeks again, he wants us all to die, so he can say I told you so.
He sounds like a crazy.
Kept me up all night.
And you're crazy, too.
I ran into an old friend I hadn't seen in years in the subway. And I said, hello, how are you? And he starts screaming at me. You're giving away all of our secrets, you're painting us as sick, you're destroying homosexuality. And then he tried to slug me. Right there in the subway. Under Bloomingdale's.
Another crazy.
We did raise $50,000 at our dance last week. That is more money than any gay organization has ever raised at one time in this city before.
That's wonderful, Ned, so you must be beginning to do something right.
I made a speech appealing for volunteers, and over 100 people signed up, including a few women. And I've got us on Donahue. I'm going to be on Donahue. With a doctor and patients.
So you're mother.
Why not?
She's afraid someone's going to shoot you.
What about you? Aren't you afraid one of your corporate clients will say, was that your faggot brother I saw on TV? Excuse me, is this a bad time? Seem preoccupied.
Oh, I'm sorry. The morning with the architect. Isn't that to shake me up a little bit? It's going to cost more than I thought.
More?
Twice as much. $2 million. I can handle it.
You can? It's very nice. Oh, you know, Ben, one of these days, I will make you agree that over 20 million men and women are not all here on this earth because there's something requiring the services of a psychiatrist.
Oh, it's up to 20 million now, is it? Every time we have this discussion, you up the ante.
We haven't had this discussion in years, Ben, and we grow just like everybody else.
Look, I try to understand. I read stuff. I open up magazines and I see pictures of you guys in leather and chains and whips and black masks with captions saying, this is a social worker, this is a computer analyst, this is a school teacher. And I say to myself, this isn't Ned.
No, it isn't! You know the media always dramatizes the most extreme. I mean, you think we all wear dresses, too?
Don't you?
Me, personally, no, I do
But
not.
then you tell me how you go to bathhouses and fuck blindly, and to me, that's not so different from this. You guys don't seem to understand why there are rules and regulations, guidelines, responsibilities. You guys have a dreadful image problem.
I know that. That's what has to be changed. That's why it's so important to have people like you supporting us. You are a respected person. You already have your dignity.
We didn't decide when we're going to have lunch and get out of here. I have an important meeting.
Do you? Yeah, how important? I've asked for your support.
In every area I consider important, you have my support.
Someplace deep inside of you, you still think I'm sick. Isn't that right? Okay. Define it for me. What do you mean by sick? Sick. Unhealthy. Sick. Perverted. Sick. I'll get over it. Sick. To be locked up.
I think you've adjusted to life quite well.
All things considered. In the only area I consider important, I don't have your support at all. The single-minded determination of all you people to forever see us as sick helps keep us sick.
I saw how unhappy you were.
So are you! You wound up going to shrinks too. We grew up side by side. We both felt pretty much the same without Mom and Pop. So I refuse to accept for one more second that I was damaged by our childhood while you were
You
not.
also react the same way to the same thing.
Right. You know what? So I became a writer, and you became a lawyer. I'll admit to having any number of awful character traits, but not to the fact that whatever they did to us as kids automatically made me sick and gay, while you stayed straight and healthy.
Well, that's the difference of opinion we have over theory.
But your theory turns me into a man from Mars. My theory doesn't do that to you.
Are you suggesting it was wrong of me to send you into therapy so young? I didn't think you'd stay in it forever.
I didn't think I'd done anything wrong until you sent me into it. Then you know you mean more to me than anyone else in this entire world. You always have. Although I think I finally found someone I like. Don't you understand?
No. I don't understand.
You've got to say it. I am the same as you. Just say it. Say it. time I lose this fight, it hurts more. I don't want to go to lunch. I'll see you.
Oh, come on, Lemon, I still love you. Sarah loves you. Our children, our cat, our dog.
You think this is a joke?
You have my love. And you have my legal advice and my financial supervision. I can't give you the courage to stand up and tell me that you don't give a good healthy fuck when I take you. Stop trying to wring some admission of guilt out of me. I am truly happy you found someone. It's about time. I'm sorry your friends are dying.
You're so sorry. Join our honorary board and say you're sorry out loud.
My being you were born just like I was born is not going to help save your dying friends.
Oh, Ben, that is exactly what I think will help save my dying friends.
Yes, you can be gay and you can be proud no matter what I think. I mean, everybody is oppressed by somebody else in some form or another. Some of us learn how to fight back, with or without the help of others, despite their opinions, even those closest to us. And judging from the mess your friends are in, it's imperative that you stand up and fight to be prouder than ever.
Can't you see that I am trying to do that? Can't your perverse ego proclaiming its superiority see that I am trying to be proud? No, you can only find room to call yourself normal.
You make me sound like I'm the enemy.
I'm beginning to think that you and your straight world are the enemy. I am furious with you, and with myself, and with every goddamn doctor who ever told me I was sick and interfered with my loving a man. I am trying to understand why nobody wants to hear we are dying. Why nobody wants to help. Why my own brother doesn't want to help. $2 million for a house? We can't even get 29 cents from the city, Ben! You still think I'm sick, and I simply will not allow that any longer. I will not speak to you again until you accept me as your equal, your healthy equal, your brother. At the rate I'm going, no one in this city will be speaking to me in about 3 more weeks. I had another fight with Bruce today. I slammed the phone down on him. I don't know why I do that. I'm never finished saying what I want. So I just have to call him back. During which I inevitably work myself up into another frenzy and hang up on him again. Poor man doesn't know what to do with me. I don't think people like me work at Citibank.
Why can't you see what an ordinary guy Bruce is? I know you think he has some hidden qualities. If you give him a little plant food, he can turn into the fighter you are. He can't. All he's got is a lot of good-looking Pendleton shirts.
I know there are better ways to handle him. I just can't seem to. And this epidemic is killing friendships too. I can't even talk to my own brother. Why doesn't he call?
There's the phone.
Why do I always have to do the running back?
All you ever eat is desserts.
Sugar is the most important thing in my life. All the rest is just to stay alive.
What's the fight about?
Which fight?
Bruce.
Pick a subject.
How many do you know now?
Dead. It's too many for one man to know. Kurt Morgan. This guy I went to Yale with just died.
Emmerich Nolan. Gave me my first job on the Washington Post.
Bruce is getting paranoid. Now his lover Albert isn't feeling well. Bruce thinks he's giving it to everyone.
get some paranoia. Maybe what we do with our lovers is what we should be thinking about most of all.
Hello? Oh, yes, hold on. It is no secret that I consider the mayor to be, along with the Times, the biggest enemy gay men and women must contend with in New York. Until the day I die, I will never forgive this newspaper and this mayor for ignoring this epidemic that is killing so many of my friends. If you... All right, here's the end. And every gay man who refuses to come forward now and fight to save his own life is truly helping to kill the rest of us. How many of us have to die before you get scared off your ass and into action? Thank you. I hear it's becoming known as the Ned Weeks School of Outrage.
Who's that?
Felix, I'm orchestrating this really well. I know I am. We have 600 volunteers now. I've got us mentioned in Time and Newsweek and the Evening News on all 3 networks, both local and national. English and French and Canadian and Australian TV and all the major New York area papers, except the Times and the Voice.
You're doing great.
Yeah, but they don't support me. Bruce, this fucking board of directors we put together, all friends of mine, every single one of them screamed at me for 2 solid hours last night. They think I'm creating a panic. Yeah, I'm using it to turn myself into a celebrity. Not one of them will appear on TV or be interviewed, so I do it all by default. So now I'm accused of being self-serving. Yeah, as if it's fun getting slugged on the subway.
They're beginning to get really frightened. You're becoming a leader, and you love to fight.
What, I love it? I love to fight. Wow.
Yes, you do. And you're having a wonderful time.
Yes, I am.
What? All those shrinks? They must have done something right to you.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Malev. Dr. Whitlow. Dr. Gillespie. Dr. Greenacre. Dr. Harkavy. Dr. Kleidsbro. Dr. Donatello. Dr. Levy. There's only one question now. Why did it have to take so long?
Well, you think it was them, do you?
Dr. I can't remember which one. He said it would finally happen. Someone I couldn't scare away would finally show up.
In the bags. Why didn't you tell me you were a writer? Huh?
Why didn't you tell me you worked for the Times? That I would have remembered.
If I told you what I did, would you see me again?
Absolutely.
You slut.
Oh, Felix. We weren't ready then.
If I had it, would you leave me?
Nope.
How do you know?
I just know. You had to have had my mother. She was a dedicated, full-time social worker for the Red Cross. She put me to work on the Bloodmobile when I was 8. She's always getting an award for being best blood catcher or something. She's 80 now, touring China. I don't think I'm programmed any other way.
I have something to tell you.
You're pregnant?
I was married once.
Does that make me the other woman?
Thought I was supposed to be straight. She said that I had been unfair to her, which I had been. I have a son.
son?
But you won't let me see him.
You can't see your own son, but since you fight, that means you're ashamed, so he will be too!
That's why I didn't tell you before. Who says I didn't fight? What happens to someone who can't be as strong as you want them to be?
Felix's weakness terrifies me. It scares the shit out of me. My father was weak, and I'm afraid I'll be like him. His life didn't stand for anything, and then it was over. So I fight constantly. And if I can do it, I can't understand why everybody else can't do it too. Okay?
Okay. It keeps getting bigger and bigger, Natty, and it doesn't go away.
You think Jewish makes you always hungry?
I'm not Jewish.
You're not?
I'm German.
Everyone thinks you're Jewish.
I know. In medicine, that helps.
The joke around is that if this were happening to the Jews, there'd be 2 hospitals already. One to go to and one you wouldn't be caught dead in. How many of us do you think already have the virus in our systems?
In this city, easily over half of all gay men.
So we're just walking time bombs waiting for whatever it is that sets us off.
Yes! And before a vaccine can be discovered, nearly every gay man will have been exposed. Ned, your organization is worthless. I went up and down Christopher Street last night, and all I saw were guys going into bars alone and coming out with somebody. And outside the baths, all I saw were lines of guys going in. And what is this stupid publication you finally put out? After all we talked about, you leave too much margin for intelligence. Why aren't you telling them bluntly, stop? Every day you don't tell them, more people infect each other.
I'm sure, man, on your side.
Don't be on my side. I don't need you on my side. Make your side shape up. I've seen 238 cases. Me, one doctor. Make it sound like there's nothing worse going around than measles.
They wouldn't print what I wrote. Again.
They? Who's they? I thought you and Bruce were the leaders.
Now we have a board. You need a board of directors when you become tax exempt. Look, it was a pain in the ass finding anyone to serve on it at all. I called every prominent gay man I could get to. Guys who made millions off of us. Fashion, rock, pop, movies, real estate, you name it. Forget it. Finally, what we put together turns out to be a bunch as timid as Bruce. And every time Bruce doesn't agree with me, he puts it to a board vote.
And you lose.
Bruce is in the closet. We finally have a meeting at City Hall tomorrow. If
Bruce doesn't want to go. Mickey works for the health department. He starts shaking every time I criticize them. They won't even put out leaflets listing all the symptoms. Richard, Dick, and Lenny owe their jobs somehow to the mayor. Dan is a school teacher. We're not allowed to say his last name out loud. The rest are just a bunch of disco delegates and bullshit. This is not a community that has its best interests at heart.
But this is death.
And the board doesn't want any sex recommendations at all. No passing on any information that isn't 100% certain.
Nothing in science is 100% certain, so you won't be saying anything at all.
I think that's the general idea.
Then why did you bother starting your organization at all?
Well, they've decided they only want to take care of patients. Home attendants, crisis counseling, and support groups. You know what? I know that's important too, but I thought I was starting out with a bunch of Ralph Naders and Green Berets. And instead, the first instant they have to take a stand on a political issue and fight almost in front of my eyes, they turn into a bunch of candy strippers.
You've got to warn the living, protect the healthy, help them keep on living, I'll take care of the
They
dying.
keep yelling at me that I can't expect a whole world to suddenly stop making love, and now I've got to tell them there's absolutely no such thing as safe sex.
I don't consider going to the baths and promiscuous sex and making love. I consider it the equivalent of eating junk food, and you could lay off. And yes, I do expect you to tell them to sit in my office any day of the week, and they'd expect it too. Get a VCR, rent a porn film, and use your hands. God, you spend so much time trying to make people well, I can't make
Everybody learns a little bit more each
I'm
day.
not learning a little bit more each day, and I'm smart, damn it, I'm smart as they come.
Why are you yelling at me for what I'm not doing? What the fuck is your side doing? Where's the goddamn AMA in all of this? The government hasn't started one single test tube of research. Where's the board of directors of your very own hospital? You have got so many patients, you haven't got rooms for them, and you've got to make Felix well. Why am I yelling at you?
Who's Felix? Who is Felix?
I introduced you to him at that medical conference you organized.
You've taken a lover?
We live together. Emma, I have never been so in love in my whole life. I've never been in love. Late Friday night, he showed me a purple spot on the floor. Or maybe it isn't it. Maybe it's some sort of something else. It could be. Can you see him tomorrow? I know you're booked up, but could you?
Tell him to call me first thing, 7:30, I'll fit him in.
Thank you.
God damn you!
I know I should have told you.
What's done is done.
What the fuck are we supposed to do? Not be with anybody ever? Well, it's not as easy as you might think.
Oh, Emma, I'm so sorry.
I had polio when I was a teenager. I caught it 3 months before the soft vaccine was announced.
Were you in an iron lung?
I was.
How did you go to school?
School came to me. I was only in an iron lung for a couple of years. And then I had to stay in bed a few years after that. I was connected to my classroom by a little loudspeaker on the side of my bed. I could hear everything. And when I wanted to speak, I'd push a button. Every few months, a couple of students were required to come and visit me. We'd say hello to each other and then not know what to say. terrified of me. Still are. I scare the shit out of people. The holy terror in the wheelchair.
I think I'm beginning to scare people too.
Learn how to use it. It can be very useful. Don't need everybody's love and approval.
You stayed in bed all the way through school?
By college, I had my first braces. I could walk a little. I used wheelchairs through medical school, and now I'm lazy. I don't walk so good anymore, but it's just because I've been too busy to practice.
You must practice.
Yeah, I was going to start here.
Right now. Come on. Right now. No, I mean it. Right now.
All right,
Come on.
okay, fine, you asked.
May I have this dance? No, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm afraid to leave him alone now. I'm afraid to be with him. I'm afraid to be without him. I'm afraid a cure won't come in time. I'm afraid of my anger. I'm a terrible leader and a useless lover. And
And a lousy dancer. Put me back. Oh,
I'm sorry. You know, you are guaranteed to not let anyone have any self-pity. Maybe he doesn't have it. Maybe I'm overreacting. There is so much death around.
polio is a virus, too. Nobody gets polio anymore.
How dare they do this to us?
It's 1:30. Maybe he's not going to show up. Why don't we just leave?
It's down here in some basement room that hasn't been used in years. What contempt.
I'm sorry I let you talk me into coming here. It's not the city's responsibility to take care of us. That's why New York went broke.
What you're asking for doesn't cost the city a dime. Let us meet with the mayor. Let him declare an emergency. Have him put pressure on Reagan for money for research. Have him get the Times to write about us.
The mayor is not going to help. Besides, if we get too political, we'll lose our tax-exempt status. That's what the lawyer in your brother's office said.
You don't think the American Cancer Society, the Salvation Army, any charity you can think of isn't somehow political? Huh? Isn't putting pressure on somebody, somewhere? The Catholic Church. We should be writing herd on the CDC in Atlanta. They deny it's happening in straight people. When it is, we could organize boycotts.
Boycotts? What in the world is there to boycott?
Have you been following this Tylenol scare? In 3 months, there have been 7 deaths. And the Times has written 54 articles. The month of October alone, they ran 1 article every single day, 4 of them on the front page. For us, in 17 months, they've written 7 puny inside articles. And we have 1,000 cases.
So the Times won't write about us. Why should we read it? I read it every morning. The next thing you'll say is we should stop shopping in Bloomingdale.
We should begin the White House.
Brilliant, Ed.
Don't you have any vision of what we could become? A powerful national organization effecting change. Come on, Bruce, you must have been a fighter once. You were a Green Beret. Did you kill people?
A couple of times.
Yeah, did you like being a soldier?
I loved it.
Why'd you quit?
I didn't quit. I just don't like being earmarked gay.
Bruce, what are you doing in this organization?
You know, there are a lot of sick people out there that need our help.
There are gonna be a lot more sick people out there. We don't get our act together. Did you give a combat completely?
You fucking talk to me about combat. I just like different from you.
I haven't seen your way yet.
Oh, you haven't? Where have you been?
Bruce Albert may be dying. Why doesn't that alone make you want to fight harder?
Just get off my back.
Get off your ass!
Wonderful. We finally gonna meet with the mayor's assistant, and you two are having another fight.
I had to fight. He had to fight. It's always Ned who has to fight.
So, it is it.
Yes.
Not a little doubt in your mind? You don't want to call in Christian Barnard?
I'm sorry, I still don't know how to tell people. They don't teach acting in medical school.
Aren't you worried about contagion? I mean, I assume I'm about to become a leper.
Well, I'm still here.
You think they'll find it a cure before I... How strange that sounds when you say it out loud for the first time.
We're trying, but we're poor. Uncle Sam is the only place these days that has the kind of money needed for research, and so far, Uncle Ronnie has not had the courtesy to respond to our numerous requests. You guys are still not making enough noise.
That's Ned's department in our family.
Where the hell are we? What kind of tube is this they put us in? Don't they want us to be seen above ground? Where is he? I'm an hour late.
An hour and a half. And where is Mickey?
Not with me, lamb chop. I've been up at Bellevue. I put a sweet, dying child together with his mama. They'd been seeing each other for 15 years, and he'd never told her he was gay, so he didn't want to see her now. He'd been refusing to see her for weeks, and he was furious with me when I waltzed in with her. It was a real weeper. Mama holding her son, and he's dead now. There are going to be a lot of mamas flying into town wondering why their sons have suddenly upped and died from pneumonia, and you two have been barking at each other for an hour and a half. My.
Tommy, he makes me so mad.
CBS called. They want our president to go on Dan Rather. He won't do it. They don't want anybody else.
I can't go on national television.
Then you shouldn't be our president. Tommy, look at that. Imagine what a fantastic impression he would make on the whole country, speaking out for something gay. You're the kind of role model we need, not those drag queens from San Francisco who shove their faces in front of every camera they see.
Hey, you would like my salary, my pension, and my health insurance.
Both of you stop it! Can't you see we need both your points of view? Ned plays the bad cop and Bruce plays the good cop. Every successful corporation works that way. You are both leaders, and we need you both desperately.
I'd like to try a treatment of several chemotherapies used together. It's milder than the others. You're an early case.
I assume that's hopeful?
It's always better early.
It also takes longer till you die.
Yes, you can look at it that way.
Ned says you're guaranteed not to let anyone have any self-pity.
I know. He said that to me, and I know he meant it kindly, but I resent it, so don't repeat it. We all spend a great deal of time trying to be like everyone else.
I gotta get out of work. I should be finished by now.
Did you see his latest Native article?
Another one?
What is so awful about what I said is the truth.
It's how you say
Well,
you say?
I said we're all cowards. I said rich gays will give thousands to straight charities before they'll give us a dime. I said it is appalling that some 20 million men and women don't have one single lobbyist in Washington. How do we expect to achieve anything, ever, at all, by immaculate conception? I said the gay leaders who created the sexual liberation philosophy in the first place have been the death of us. Mickey, why did you guys fight for the right to get married instead of the right to legitimize promiscuity?
We did. You sure you didn't leave anybody out?
I said it's all our fault, every one of us.
You want a second opinion?
Feel free, but I'll say this about my fellow hospitals, which I probably shouldn't. You won't get particularly good care anywhere, maybe not even here. At Sloan, I'll call it Hospital A. You'll come under a group of mad scientists, research fanatics who'll try anything, and if you die, you die. You'll never see the same doctor twice. You'll just be a statistic for their computer, which they won't share with anyone. By the way, there's not much sharing going on. Never is. You'll be a true guinea pig. Hospital B, they decided they really didn't want to get involved with this. It's too messy. And they're right. So you'll be overlooked by the least informed of doctors. C is like the New York Times and our friends everywhere. Square, righteous, superior, embarrassed by this disease, by this entire epidemic. D is Catholic. E is Jewish. F is, well, what am I telling you this for? I must be insane, but the situation is insane.
And you are an hour and 45 minutes late, so why did you bother to come at all?
I presume I'm at last having the pleasure of meeting Mr. Weeks's lilting telephone voice face to face. I'm truly sorry I'm late.
Michael Marcus.
I'm Hiram Keeper.
Are you related to the folks who make the crackers? Tommy Boatwright.
Bruce Niles. The mayor wants you to know how much he cares. And how impressed he is with your superb efforts to shoulder your own responsibility.
Thank you. Our responsibility, everything we're doing is stuff you guys should be doing, and we need help.
What Mr. Weeks is trying to say, sir, is that, well, we are truly swamped. We're now fielding over 500 calls a week on our emergency hotline. People everywhere are desperate for information, which, quite frankly, the city should be providing, but isn't. We're now visiting over 100 patients each week in hospitals and...
Sir, one thing you could help us out with is office space. We're presently in one small room and at least 100 people come in and out every day, and, well, no one will rent to us because of who we are and what we do.
That's illegal discrimination.
We believe we know that to be true, sir.
Mr. Keebler, sir, it is not illegal to discriminate against homosexuals.
We have been waiting to see the mayor for 14 months. It has taken us 1 year just to get this meeting with you, and you are an hour and 45 minutes late. Have you told the mayor there's an epidemic going on?
I can't tell him that.
Why not?
Because it isn't true.
Yes, sir, it is.
Who said so?
The government!
Which government? Our government?
No, Russia's government.
Since
The
when?
Centers for Disease Control and landed declared
17 months ago!
How could you not know that?
Well, you can't expect us to concern ourselves with every little outbreak those boys come up with. And could you please reduce the level of your hysteria?
Certainly. San Francisco, LA, Miami, Boston, Chicago, Washington, Denver, Houston, Seattle, Dallas, all now report cases. It is cropping up in London, Germany, Paris, Canada, and New York City. Our home, the city you are pledged to protect, has over half of everything. Half the 1,000 cases. Half the dead. 256 dead. And I know 40 of them, and I don't want to know anymore! And you cannot know any of this! Now, when can we see the mayor? 14 months is a long time to be out to lunch. No, wait, no, you wait a minute! We can't. Time is not on our side. If you will not take word to the mayor, what do we do? How do we get it to him? Hire a hunky hustler and send him up to Gracie Mansion with our clean tattooed on his cock?
Mayor Koch is not gay.
Oh, come on, Lance!
Listen to me. Of course we are aware of those powers. And before you open your big mouth again, I would like to offer you a little piece of advice. Bad-mouthing the mayor is the best way I know not to get his attention.
But we're not getting him now, so what do we got to lose?
Yeah.
Hey, Bruce, you misheard him. Hiram here just said they are aware of the figures.
anything great. I thought before they were just stupid and blind. Now we get to worry about them being repressive and downright dangerous.
Sir, I'm sorry, but we've been under a great deal of strain.
Don't you ever apologize for me again. How dare you choose who will live and who will die?
Well, I guess we better get started.
We have. You'll come to me once a week. There are going to be a lot of tests, a lot of blood tests, a lot of waiting. Now, Felix, you understand your body no longer has any mechanism for fighting off anything. There's potential for tremendous pain and deterioration with this disease. I'm sorry. You have to know this. Everyone has to know this.
Now listen, don't you think I want to help you? I have a friend who's dying from this in VA hospital right this very
Then why?
Because it's tricky. Can't you see that? It's very tricky.
Tricky shit. There are 1 million gay people in New York. 1,000,001 counting you. That's a lot of votes. Our organization started with 6 men. We now have over 600 active volunteers and a mailing list of 10,000.
600. You think that the mayor worries about 600? A fire goes out in a school furnace on the west side between 72nd and 96th Street. I get 3,000 phone calls in one day. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
If so many of you are so upset about what's happening, why do I only hear from this loudmouth?
That's a very good question.
Okay, there are 500,000 gay men in our area. 509 cases. Doesn't seem so high. Considering how many of us, I mean, of you, there are.
This is bullshit.
Ned!
Let me take it.
Sir, Hiram, please. You are?
I'm Bruce Niles. I'm the president.
You're the president. What does that make the police here?
He's one of the founders.
But we work together jointly.
Oh, then you do.
Yes, we do.
Carry on, Mr. Bruce.
You realize that
That's right. And the mayor feels there's no need to declare any kind of emergency. That only gets people excited. And we simply can't give you office space. We're not in the free giveaway business.
We don't want it for free.
No, I repeat, I think that is the mayor thinks that you guys are overreacting.
You tell that cocksucker that he's a selfish, heartless son of a bitch.
I'm gonna be all right, you know.
Good. That's the right attitude.
No, I'm gonna be the one who kicks it. I've always been lucky.
Good.
Does everyone say that? Well, I'm gonna be the one. I wanted a job on the Times. I got it. I wanted Ned.
You are now heading for real trouble.
Did I give it to Ned?
I don't know.
Can he catch it from me now?
I just don't know.
Did he give it to me?
I don't know.
No more making you up?
Right.
Well, some gay doctors are saying it's okay if you use rubbers.
I know they are.
Can we kiss?
I don't know.
I want my mother.
Where is she?
She's dead.
Do you think that you can barge in here and call us names? You are Michael L. Marcus. You hold an unsecure job with the City Department of Health. I'd watch my step if I were you. You've got yourself quite a handful here. You might consider putting him in a cage in the zoo. That I think I can arrange with the mayor. I'd watch out for my friends here, if I were you.
I don't believe this just happened.
Mickey, I'm on the Today Show tomorrow, and I am telling them that the mayor is threatening your job.
The
if you
Today
don't shut
Show?
up.
You're gonna do what? You can't do that.
Of course I can. He just did.
When are you gonna stop? God damn it, Ned!
You're being treated like shit! And we're allowing it! And until we force them to treat us otherwise, we get exactly what we deserve. Politicians understand only one thing, pressure. You heard him. Him and his 3,000 West Side phone calls. Bruce! Bruce, for a Green Beret, you're an awful sissy! We're not yelling loud enough.
I'm gonna do my damnedest, Felix.
Hey, Doc. I'll
bet you say that to all the boys.
I'm still holding, sweetheart. You hold on? Honey, hold on one second.
You hold on.
Hold on one second. Hello?
Okay, so
Yeah, hold on one second. It's another theory call.
What's your name?
All right, go ahead.
Okay,
Uranus? Who's that? What are you talking about?
Lady! I thought your friend, little Vinny, was going to show up today. No, he had to go to the gym.
Mystical electromagnetic fields ruled by the planet Uranus. Yes, well, we'll certainly keep that in mind. Thank you for calling and sharing that with us.
There's a payphone at the post office.
Get a number, we'll call him back.
No, I'm back.
Okay, can you hold on?
Listen, if you're not feeling well, then get to the hospital.
Graciela?
No, it doesn't.
You tell Senor Hiram Keeper I have to hold for Diaz Minutos, and he called me. See. Hey, sweetie, do you know where St. Vincent's is? Okay, you get your ass here fast. I'll send you a crisis counsel later today. I know you're scared, honey, but just get there.
Call him back!
We have a crisis counsel that's in the St. B's around 6 o'clock.
No. Honey, listen, shit.
Hi, okay.
Honey, just try to calm down, okay? Just call me as soon as you get there, all right? No, I will be here all night. Let me know.
Hey, how you doing? It's Kessler in San
I
Francisco.
love you, all right? I gotta go.
No, louder, Harry, it's a matter. Number calls here to show up.
Mystical?
Oh dear.
Hello?
Oh dear.
No, Ned's not here yet.
San Francisco's mayor is giving $4 million to their organization. You haven't met our mayor yet.
No, he made his assistant about 4 months ago.
Hiram called about 3 days ago. Left a message you found some money for, trying to get it back.
We need to train more crisis counselors.
What about me, Nick?
No!
Okay, get this. The Times is finally writing a big story. 20 months after the epidemic has been declared, and the Times is finally writing a big story. Where this Craig Claiborne took someone high up out to lunch, and they really had to write something, anything.
Who's writing it?
Some lady in Baltimore.
Makes sense.
Oh dear.
Ray, darling, what the fuck? Jim, oh, dear, in the house.
Who's just headed to the post office when it's on mailing?
I just gotta ask you.
I gotta go.
When did this happen?
Harry, what's the problem?
That's awful.
Well, they can't do that to us.
Sit down.
Harry went down to the post office.
I'll send you there.
Yeah, well, they're not going anywhere.
Jim, hold on one
The
second.
post office won't accept them because we just used our initials.
So what?
In order to get tax exemption, we have to use our full name.
Jim, there is a certain amount of irony in all this, though not right now.
He's double parked and his volunteers had to go home.
Brady, dear, would you go help him out?
No.
Brady!
No, why do I always have to do the car?
Brady! Fine! Give me the phone.
Hang on, Harry, I'm coming to help you.
Harry, someone's coming.
You cab there.
Ride the rails, boy.
What's his name?
Hello.
Brady!
No, go ahead.
Great.
Don't put me back on hold.
Just bring it back. I'm gonna find this further somewhere.
No, that isn't. Jim, you gave me.
I'm sorry.
Last week.
I know.
That's twice.
So this means we either pay full rate or embarrass their mailman.
Okay. Well,
Sorry, honey, I couldn't
Back
resist.
next week.
Graciela?
Yes.
How do you say I've been
Thank you
holding
very
20
much.
minutes in Spanish?
No. That's what you say the number is. Then.
City Hall is an equal opportunity employer. Doesn't mean y'all have to learn English.
That was Atlanta. They're now reporting 30 cases a week nationally.
30?
The CDC are filthy liars. What is wrong with those boys? We log 40 cases a week in this office alone. 40.
30?
That's 30 nationally, 40 in his office alone?
You heard what I said. Ha! Pick up for us, will you, dears? We need a little rest. Thank you.
Nikki, aren't you supposed to be in Rio?
Where's Ned?
He should be here by now.
I don't want to see him.
I need to speak to him. I don't want to lose my job because Ned doesn't like sex very much. It's coming off like Jesus Christ as if he never took a lover himself.
Rio, why?
I was in Rio!
I'm tired. I need a rest. We're all exhausted. You're the president. You can't have a rest.
I work all day for the city writing stuff on breastfeeding versus formula and how to stay calm if you have herpes. And I work all night on our newsletter and my health columns for the native and I can't take it anymore now. This!
Take it
Now what?
I was in Rio. Gregory and I are in Rio. We just got there the day before yesterday. I get a phone call from Hiram's office.
In Rio?
I'm told to be at a meeting at his office right away this morning.
What kind of meeting? Why didn't you tell me? I could have checked it out.
Because unfortunately, you are not my boss.
What kind of meeting?
I don't know. I get to City Hall. He keeps me waiting forever. Finally, the commissioner comes, my boss, and he says, I hope you had a nice vacation. And then he goes inside into Hiram's office, and I wait some more. The commissioner comes out, and he says, Hiram doesn't want to see you anymore. I said, please, sir, why did he make me fly all the way back from Rio? He said, your vacation isn't over yet? I said, no, sir, I was there for 1 day, and I wanted to scream. I haven't slept in 2 days, you dumb fuck! But I didn't. What I said was, sir, does this mean I'm fired? And he said, no, I don't think he means that. And then he left. Ned's article in The Native attacking Hiram came out last week. I love sex. I worship men. I don't think Ned does. I don't think Ned likes himself. I don't think Ned has.
What are you trying to say, Mickey?
You keep trying to make us say things that we don't want to say, and I don't think we can afford to make so many enemies before we have enough friends.
We'll never have enough friends. We have to accept that. Why does what I say mean I don't like myself? Why is anything I am saying compared to anything but common sense? When are we going to have this out once and for all? How many cases a week now?
30, 40.
Reinhard, dead. Craig, dead. Albert, sick. Felix not getting any better. Richie Farrow just died.
Richie?
That guy, Ray Schwartz, just committed suicide.
Oh.
Terry's calling all his friends from under his oxygen tent to say goodbye. Soon we are going to be blamed for not doing anything to help ourselves. When are we going to admit we might be spreading this? We've simply fucked ourselves silly for years and years, and sometimes we've done it in the filthiest places.
Some of us have never been to places like that, man.
Good for you, Tommy.
Maybe you haven't, but others you've been with have, so what's the difference?
It's my right to kill myself.
It is not your right to kill me. This is not a civil rights issue. This is a contagion issue.
But we don't know that yet. And until they discover the virus, we're not certain where this is coming from.
We know enough to cool it for a while and save lives probably too. All it takes is one drunk fuck. That's not promiscuity, that's bad luck.
Okay. So it's back to kissing and cuddling and waiting around for Mr. Right, who could be Mr. Wrong. Maybe if they let us get married to begin with, none of this would have happened at all. I think I'll call Dr.
Will you please stop?
Mick, you all right?
I don't think so.
What's wrong? Tell Tommy.
Why can't we find the virus?
It's time.
I can't take any more theories. I've written a column about every single one of them. Repeated infection by a virus. New appearance by a dormant virus. Single virus. New virus, old virus, multivirus, latent virus, mutant virus, retrovirus. And we mustn't forget fucking, sucking, kissing, blood, voodoo, drugs, poppers, needles, Africa, Haiti, Cuba, blacks, amoebas, monkeys, mosquitoes, Uranus! What if it isn't any of them? Oh no, what if it's something out of the blue? The Great Plague of London was caused by polluted drinking water from a pump. Nobody knows. Maybe it's a genetic predisposition or the theory of the herd. Only so many of us will get it, and then the pool's yours up. What if it's monogamy? Bruce, you and I could actually be worse off because of constant bombardment of the virus from a single source, our own lovers, and maybe the guys who go to the baths regularly have built up the best immunity. I don't know what to tell anybody anymore, and everybody asks me. I don't know who's right. I don't know who's wrong. I feel so inadequate. How can we tell people to stop when it might turn out to be caused by... I don't know!
Nothing's
You know, Ed keeps calling the mayor a prick, and the commissioner a prick, and Hiram a prick, and the president in the New York Times, and that's the entire political structure of the entire United States. When are you gonna stop your eternal name calling at every person you see?
That's exactly how I
But
feel.
maybe he's right, and that scares me too, Nettie. You scare me.
If I were you, I would get back to Gregory and Rio immediately.
Who's gonna pay my fare? And I'm a job. I don't make much, but it's enough to let me help out here. Where are all the gay Rockefellers? I mean, you think the president really wants this to happen? You think the CIA really has unleashed germ warfare to kill off all the queers that Jerry Falwell doesn't want? Otherwise, should they help us? We're actually cooperating with them by dying!
And try and hold on.
Do what? I used to love my country. The native received an anonymous letter. It was describing top secret defensive cloning experiments at Fort Detrick, Maryland, that have produced a virus that can destroy the immune system. Its code name is Sperm Hand. They started testing it in 1978 on a group of gays. I never used to believe shit like this before. They are going to persecute us. Cancel our health insurance, test our blood to see if we're pure, lock us up, stone us in the streets. And you think I am killing people?
That is not what I am saying.
You do, I know you do. I spent 15 years of my life fighting for our right to be free and to make love whenever, wherever. And you're telling me that all those years of what being gay stood for is wrong, and that you're a murderer? That we have been so oppressed. Don't you remember how it was? Can't you see how important it is for us to love openly without hiding and without shame? And we were a bunch of funny-looking fellows who grew up in sheer misery. And one day we fell into the orgy rooms. Oh, we thought we'd found heaven. And we would teach the world how wonderful heaven could be. We would lead the way. We would be good for something new. Can't you see that? Can't you?
See that, Mickey? I do. Come on. Tommy's taking you home now.
When I left Hiram's office, I went to the top of the Empire State Building to jump off.
Okay, I'm taking you home right
No,
now.
you can jump off there if no one is looking. Now I am a murderer! All my life I've been hated for one reason or for another. For being short, for being Jewish. Jerry Falwell mails out millions of pictures of two men kissing as if that was the most awful sight you could see. Tell everybody we were wrong. And I'm sorry. Someday someone will come along and stick the knife in you and say something you fought for your entire life has been shit! You son of a bitch!
Get his coat!
Oh!
All right. Tired, that's all. A little bit yelled at. We got ourselves a lot of different styles that don't quite match. We got ourselves a lot of bereavement overload. Tommy's taking you home.
No! Don't take me out! I'm afraid of whatever I do. Take me to St. Vincent's. I'm just afraid.
I will take you wherever you want to go. Okay, you two. No more apologizing and no more fucking excuses. You two better start accommodating and talking to each other now, or we're in big trouble.
We're the fighters, aren't we?
You bet, sweeties. And you're a hero. Whether you know it or not, you're our first hero.
We're all going to go crazy, living this epidemic every minute. While the rest of the world goes on out there, all around us, as if nothing is happening. Going on with their own lives. Not knowing what it's like. We're going through. We are living through war. But where they're living, it's peacetime. We're all in the same country.
Do you want to be president?
I just won't feel it's too late.
names, right? Probably yelled out, huh? You ready?
Yes. The mayor has found a secret little fund
For giving away money. We're not allowed to tell anyone where we got it. If word gets out we've told, we won't get it.
How much?
$9,000.
Ned Albert's dead. Oh no. What's today?
Wednesday.
He's been dead a week.
I didn't know he was so close.
No one did. He wouldn't tell anyone. And do you know why? Because of me. Because he knows I'm so scared I'm some sort of carrier. This makes 3 people I've been with who are dead. I went to Emma and I begged her, Emma, please, test me somehow, please. Tell me if I'm giving this to people. She said she couldn't. There's no way they can find out anything because they still don't know what they're looking for. And Albert, why do you think I loved him best of all? He went so fast. His mother wanted him in Phoenix before he died. This was last week when it was obvious, so I gave permission from Emma and I bundle them all up and I take them to the plane in an ambulance. The pilot won't take off, and I refuse to leave the plane. You would have been proud of me. Finally, they get another pilot, and after we take off, Albert loses his mind, not recognizing me or where he is or that he's even going home. And then, right there on the plane, he becomes incontinent. Doing it in his pants, all over the seat, shit, piss, everything. I pulled out my suitcase and I yanked out whatever clothes were in there and I started mopping them up as best I could. And all these people were just staring at us and they were moving away in these rows. So I ran all these clothes back in my suitcase and I sat there holding his hand and Albert, please, no more, man. Hold it in. I paid it for us, for Bruce and Albert. Well, when we get to Phoenix, there's a police van waiting for us. And the police are dressed in complete protective rubber clothing. They look like fucking astronauts. And by the time we get to the hospital, where his mother had fixed up his room real nice, Albert was dead. No, it gets worse. The hospital doctors refused to examine him to put a cause of death on the death certificate. And without a death certificate, the undertakers won't take him away, and neither will the police. So finally, some orderly comes in. And he stuffs Albert in a heavy-duty black bag. And he motions us with his finger to follow him. And he puts him out in the back alley with the garbage. He says, hey man, see what big favor I did for you? I got him out. Now I want $50. I paid him. And then his mother and I took the bag to a car, and we finally found a black undertaker, cremated him for $1,000. No questions asked. You and Felix, mind if I spend the night in your sofa? Is this one right? I don't really want it.
position is this. There are several $1 million in the pipeline, 5 to be exact, for which we have received some $55 million worth of requests, all the way from a doctor in North Dakota who desires to study the semen of pigs, to the health reporter on Long Island who's convinced it's being transmitted by dogs. And the reason so many homosexuals are contracting it is because they have so many dogs.
All right. $5 million doesn't seem quite right for some 2,000 cases. The government spent $20 million investigating 7 deaths from Tylenol. We are now in almost the 3rd year of this epidemic.
Unfortunately, President Reagan has threatened to veto. As you know, he's gone on record as being unalterably and irrevocably opposed to anything that might be construed as an endorsement of homosexuality. Naturally, this has slowed things down.
Naturally. Well, it seems we have a rather successful stalemate going on here.
Well, that's not what we're here to discuss today, is it?
I don't think I'm going to enjoy hearing what it is I think I'm about to hear, but go ahead at your own peril.
We have decided to reject your application for funding.
What? I would like to hear your reasons.
We felt the direction of your thinking was imprecise and unfocused.
Could you be a little more precise?
I beg your pardon?
You don't know what's going on any more than I do. My guess is as good as anybody's. Why are you blocking my efforts?
Dr. Bruckner, since you first became involved with this, and we pay tribute to you as a pioneer, one of the few courageous pioneers, there have been other investigators. And quite frankly, this is no longer just your disease.
Though you seem to think it is.
I do I? And you're here to take it away from me, is that it? I'll let you in on a little secret, doctors. You can have it. I didn't want this in the first place. You think it's my good fortune to have the privilege of watching young men die? Oh, what's the use? What am I arguing with you for? You don't know enough medicine to treat a mouse, and you don't know enough science to study boiled water. How dare you come and judge me?
We serve on this panel at the behest of Dr. Juiced.
Another idiot.
Miss Bruckner!
And, by the way, a closeted homosexual who is doing everything in his power to sweep this under the rug, and I vowed I'd never say that in public. How does it always happen that all the idiots are always on your team?
That is quite
You
enough.
guys have all the money, call the shots, shut everybody out, and then operate behind closed doors. I am taking care of more victims of this epidemic than anyone in the world. We have more accumulated test results, more data, more frozen blood samples, more experience. How can you not fund my research? Or invite me to participate in yours? A promising virus has already been discovered in France. Why are we being told not to cooperate with the French? Why are you refusing to cooperate with the French? Just so you can steal a Nobel Prize? You received my first request for money over 2 years ago. It took you 1 year just to print up the application forms. It has taken you 2 years just to show up here to take a look. You are the National Institutes of Health. You are given $4 billion each and every year to protect the health of everyone in this country. The paltry amount of money you are making me beg for won't even come to anybody until God knows when. And any way you add this up, it is an unconscionable delay and has never existed in any other health emergency during this entire century. Well, something is being passed around that causes death. We are enduring an epidemic of death. Women have been shown to have it in Africa where it is clearly transmitted heterosexually. It is just a question of time. We could all be dead before you do anything. You want my patients? Here, take them! Take them! Take them! Just do something for them! You're fucking right, I'm imprecise and unfocused, and you are all idiots!
Yay!
This is perfect for our new offices. The room upstairs is just as big. And it's cheap.
How come, do you think? Didn't Tommy tell you?
After he found it, he ran into the owner in a gay bar, who confessed after a few beers that that his best friend is sick. Did you see us on TV yesterday? Picketing the mayor and all that rain.
Yes.
How'd we look?
All wet.
He's got 4 more hours to go. Our letter threatened that if he didn't meet with us by the end of the day, we would escalate in civil disobedience. Mal found this huge, straight black guy who trained with Martin Luther King. He's teaching us how to tie up the bridge and tunnel traffic. Don't worry. A bunch of us are doing this on our own. Tommy got the call.
Tommy?
Why didn't you tell me?
When did they call?
This morning. When's the meeting?
Tomorrow.
Look, you see, it works. What time?
8 a.m.
It's for the mayor. I'll get up early.
We can only bring 10 people. High room spoilers.
Okay, who's going?
The community council sends 2. The network sends 2. The task force sends 2. We send 2 and 2 patients.
I will pick you up at 7:30 and we can share a cab.
You remember we elected Tommy executive director.
I'm going.
We can only bring 2.
So you just go hire him and tell him we're bringing 3.
If the list of names has already been phoned in, it's too late.
So I'll just go. What are they going to do? They kick me out? Already phoned in. Too late. Why is everything so final? Why is all this being done behind my back?
How dare you make this decision without consulting me?
Nick, I wrote that letter. I got 60 gay organizations to sign it. I organized the picketing when the mayor didn't respond. That meeting is mine. It's happening because of me. It took me 21 months to arrange it, and goddamn it, I'm gonna go.
You are not the whole organization.
What does that mean? Why didn't Tommy tell me?
I told him not to. I wanted to pull the board.
Behind my back? What kind of betrayal is going on behind my back? No, I'm on the board. You didn't poll me. I am going to that meeting representing this organization that I have spent every minute of my life fighting for, and that was started in my living room, or I quit.
I told them I didn't think you'd accept their decision.
You would let me quit. You didn't have to poll the board, Bruce. You wanted to take me, you take me. I embarrass you.
Yes. Yes, you do. The mayor is finally meeting with us. And we all feel we now have a chance to
Kiss his ass.
We want to work from the inside whenever we have a contact.
That won't work! Did you get this meeting by kissing his ass? He is the one person most responsible for letting this epidemic get so out of control. Have you ever responded with 1 ounce of compassion when we first tried to reach him? You'll see. We now have over $500,000. The Times is finally writing about us. Why are you so willing to let me go when I have been so effective, when you need me most?
You are a bully. If the board doesn't agree with you, you always threaten to quit. You never listen to us, and I can't work with you
And you
anymore.
are strangling this organization with your fear and your conservatism. The organization I promised everyone would fight for them isn't fighting at all. It's become the gay est.
Maybe that's what I wanted to become. Maybe that's all it could become. You can't turn something into something it doesn't want to become. You just feel that you can't tell people how to live.
Drop it! Just drop it! Cases are still doubling every 6 months. Of course, we have to tell people how to live, or else there won't be anybody left. Did you ever consider that it could get so bad they will quarantine us? Or put us into camps?
It will not.
It's happened before. It has all happened before. History is worth shit. I swear to God, I now understand. Is this how so many people just walked into the gas chambers, but at least they identified themselves to each other and to the world?
You can't call people gay who don't want to be.
Bruce, after you're dead, it doesn't make any difference.
The board wanted me to review this letter. Dear Mr. Weeks,
We are circulating this letter widely among people of judgment and good sense in our community. We take this action to try to combat your damage, wrought so far as we can see, by your having no scruples whatever. You are on a colossal ego trip we must curtail. To manipulate fear, as you have done repeatedly in your merchandising of this epidemic, is to us the gesture of barbarism. To exploit the deaths of gay men, as you have in publications all over America, is to us an act of inexcusable vandalism. And to attempt to justify your bursts of outrageous temper as part of what it means to be Jewish is past our comprehending. And after years of liberation, you have helped make sex dirty again for us, terrible and forbidden. We are more angry at you than ever in our lives toward anyone. We think you want to lead us all. Well, we do not want you to. In accordance with our bylaws, as drawn up by Weeks, Frankel, Levenstein, Mr. Ned Weeks is hereby removed as a director. We beg that you leave us quietly and not destroy us and what good work we manage, despite your disapproval. In closing, please know we always welcome your input, advice, and help.
Belong to a culture that includes Proust, Henry James, Tchaikovsky, Cole Porter, Plato, Socrates, Aristotle, Alexander the Great, Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Christopher Marlowe, Walt Whitman, Herman Melville, Tennessee Williams, Byron, Liam Forster, Lorca, Auden, Francis Bacon, James Baldwin, Harry Stack Sullivan, John Maynard Keynes, Dag Hammarskjöld. These are not invisible men. Poor Bruce, poor frightened Bruce. Once upon a time you wanted to be a soldier. Did you know that an openly gay Englishman was as responsible as any man for winning the Second World War? His name was Alan Turing, and he cracked the Germans' Enigma code. So the Allies knew in advance what the Nazis were going to do. And when the war was over, he committed suicide. He was so hounded for being gay. Why don't they teach any of this in the schools, huh? If they did, maybe he wouldn't have killed himself. And maybe you wouldn't be so terrified of who you are. The only way we will have real pride is when we demand recognition for a culture that is not just sexual. Being defined by our cocks is literally killing us. It's all there. All throughout history, we've been there. But we have to claim it, and identify who was in it, and articulate what is in our minds and our hearts, and all of our creative contributions to this earth. And until we do that, and until we organize ourselves, block by neighborhood, by city, by state, into a united, visible community that fights back, we're doomed. That's how I want to be defined. As one of the men who fought the war.
reduced to becoming our own murderers. Why couldn't you and I, Bruce Niles and Ned Weeks, have been leaders in creating a new definition of what it means to be gay? I blame myself as much as you. Bruce, I know I'm an asshole. Please, I beg you. Don't shut me out. Why are you sitting on the floor?
I fell down, trying to get from there to here.
Let's put you to bed.
Don't touch me! Don't! I am so ugly, and I cannot stand it when you look at my body.
Did you go to chemo today?
Yes, I threw it all up. You don't have to let me stay here with you. This is horrible for you.
Okay. There's no fallout yet. Phil looks cute shaved. I'm hungry. How about you? Can you eat a little something? Please? You gotta eat. Soup? Something light, huh? I bought dinner.
Emma says a cure won't come along till the next century. Emma says it's years till a vaccine, which won't do me any good anyway. Emma says the incubation period might be up to 3, 10, 20 years.
Emma says you've got to eat.
I look at my date books, and no one else I've slept with is sick that I know of. So maybe it was you. Maybe you've been a carrier for 20 years, or maybe not. You only have 3 years to go.
Felix, we don't have to do this again to each other. Did Emma also tell you that research at the NIH has finally started? Huh? That something is now possible? We have to hope.
Oh, do we?
Yes, we do.
And how am I supposed to do that? You Jewish boys who think you can always make everything right, that the world can always be a better place. Oh, did I tell you the Times is running an editorial this Sunday entitled The Slow Response? And you're right. I didn't have anything to do with it.
Why are you doing this? Why are you eating this shit? These Twinkies? Potato chips? I mean, come on. You know you're supposed to watch your nutrition. You're not gonna...
Right, I will expect to eat 10 more minutes. I will eat whatever I want to eat. Yeah. This is going to get messier any day now, and I don't want to make you see it.
Nobody makes me do anything I don't want to do, huh? You should know that better than anybody else by now. What are you going to do? You're going to sit on the floor the rest of your life? We've got a bed in the other room. You can listen to those relaxation tapes we bought you 3 months ago. You haven't used them at all. Do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. That guy David, who sold you the pig over on Bleecker Street, finally died. It took forever. They say he looked like someone out of Auschwitz. Do you hear me?
No. Are you ready to get up yet and eat something?
No. I have had over 40 treatments. No! I've had 4 different types of chemo. Ow! I have had interferon a couple of times, 2 different experimentals. Emma has spent more time with me than anyone else, and none of it's done a thing. I have had to go in the hospital 4 times. And God, please don't make me go back in there until I die. My illness has cost the New York Times insurance company over $300,000. 85% of us are dead after 2 years, Alexander. And it gets higher up to 3. Emma's lost so many patients,
how-manys and body counts and Emma and every day, Felix, there are only more numbers and fights. And I am so sick of fighting and intransigence and guilt trips and bragging. And you know what? You can't eat your food, fine. I don't care. Don't eat your food. Take your poison. You can't get up off the floor, fine. Just stay there. I don't care. Fish. Hey, fish is good for you. We don't want any of that, do we? No green salad. No, sir. No broccoli. We don't want any of that, do we? No, sir. No bread with silk grains. Milk. Who would ever want any milk? You might get some calcium in your bones. You want to die, Felix? Die! Felix. Please don't leave me.
Thank you for seeing me. Your brother and I are lovers. I'm dying, and I need to make a will. I know Nettie hasn't been talking to you. Our excuse is we've sort of been preoccupied. It's a little hard on us, isn't it? His kind of love. Because we disappoint him so. But it is love. I hope you know that. I haven't much time left. I want to leave everything to Ned. I've written it all down.
Do you have any family, Felix?
My folks are dead. I had a wife.
You had a wife?
Yes, we're divorced. I have a son. She has custody.
Does she know you're ill?
Yes, I called and we said our goodbyes. She doesn't want anything from me. Actually, she was rather pleasant, although she wouldn't let me talk to my boy.
How is my brother?
Well, he blames himself, of course, for everything. From my dying to the state of the entire world. He isn't talking much these days, believe it or not. And you must be as stubborn as he is not to have called.
I think of doing it every day. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were ill. I'll call him right away.
He's up in Yale for the week. He's in terrible shape. He was thrown out of the organization he loved so much. And after almost 3 years, he just sits at home all day flagellating himself awfully because he thinks he failed some essential test. Plus my getting near the end, and you two still not talking to each other.
Ned was thrown out of his own organization.
Yes.
Felix, I wish we could have met sooner.
I haven't much. Except a beautiful piece of land on the Cape in Wellfleet, on a hill overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. Ned doesn't know about it. It was too big a surprise. We'd lived there together in a house he always wanted. I also have an insurance policy with the Times. I'm a reporter for the New York Times.
You work for the Times.
Yes. Fashion. La-di-da. It's meant to go to my next of kin. I've specified that. I'm just afraid they may not give it to him.
If he's listed as the beneficiary, they must.
What if they don't?
I assure you, I will fight to see that he gets it.
I was hoping you'd say that. Could I, sign my will now, please, in case I don't have time to see you again?
This will be quite legal. You can stop by one of my associates' offices and get it properly witnessed as you sign it.
My little piece of paper is legal. Then why did you go to law school?
I sometimes wonder. You know, Felix, I think of leaving here too. Because I don't think anybody is listening to me either. I set all this up as well. I understand the virus has finally been discovered in Washington.
The story is they couldn't find it. So after 15 months, they stole it from the French and renamed it. Well, who knows how many million of us now exposed. Oh, there's not a good word to be said for anyone's behavior in this whole mess. And could you help me get a taxi, please? I have to get to the airport.
The airport?
Yes, I'm going to Romania. To see their famous woman doctor. A desperation tactic, Tommy would call it. Does flying Bucharest Airlines inspire you with any confidence? I should be wearing something white.
You are.
It should be something Perry Ellis ran up for me personally.
What's this?
It's from my trip. I forgot to give it to you. It's a piece of rock from Dracula's castle.
Reminded you of me, did it?
It's to remind you of me. Please, learn to fight again.
I went to a meeting at the bishop's. All the gay leaders were there, including Bruce and Thomas. They wouldn't let me in. So I went to the men's room in the rectory. And the bishop came in. And as we stood there, peeing, side by side, I screamed at him, "What kind of house of God are we in?"
Don't lose that anger. Just have a little more patience and forgiveness for yourself as well.
What am I ever going to do without you?
Finish writing something, okay?
Okay.
Promise?
I promise.
Okay. It better be good. Here. Hello, Ben.
Hello, Felix.
we are gathered together in the sight of God to join together these two men. They love each other very much and want to be married in the presence of their family before Felix dies. I can see no objection. This is my hospital, my church. Do you, Felix Turner, take Ned Weeks
Alexander.
to be your
My
Lover.
I do. I do.
I do.
He always wanted me to take him to your new house in the country. Just the four of us.
Man. Sorry. Felix.
Why didn't I fight harder? Why didn't I picket the White House all by myself if nobody would come? Or go on hunger strike? Oh, I forgot to tell him something. Felix, when they invited me to Gay Week at Yale, we had a dance. In my old college dining hall just across the campus from that tiny freshman room where I tried to kill myself. Because I thought I was the only gay man in the world. They had a dance. Felix. There were 600 young men and women there. Smart. Exceptional. Young men and women. Thank you